My name is Dave Tran, and this is LuxTV, shedding and spreading light for the chiropractic student. We have chiropractor Dr. Megan Ellewanger calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota. She graduated from Northwestern in 2009. Dr. Megan, welcome to LuxTV.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's get straight to it. So how did you get your start in chiropractic?
Well, actually, I grew up in a very medical model. I think that, a lot of chiropractors either grow up with chiropractic parents or kind of like me. We took, the pink bubblegum medicine, which is obviously penicillin, when we were sick. My dad ran a hospital, so I was around that. But that also drove me into chiropractic because when I shadowed medical doctors, I saw the need for a chiropractor. That these people could all be helped by chiropractic because there really is no cure, as we all know, for anything, but there is a better way of living life. And I watched my grandparents die of preventable lifestyle diseases, cancer, emphysema, things like that. And it was about their quality of life. And I really want my practice and myself and my family to be living and enjoying life to its fullest.
Yeah. And then are you originally from Minneapolis or Minnesota, or?
No, I came here for school because Northwestern is here, the greatest chiropractic school ever. No, I'm from Nebraska originally, so I came up here for school, and then I really enjoyed it up here, and I have stayed.
Gotcha. Great. And then one of the things that I was introduced to you about was a awesome kind of movement that you are creating, starting within your own practice, and it's called like hashtag or #, I got checked. So where did you kind of come up with that idea?
Well, I heard Sean Dale talk about do his 90-10, what is that, projecting the dynasty talk thing. And it really resonated with me. It was things I was already kind of hammering on. I was already talking about doing a video for my new office. And so really, I talked to Sean about it. He called me on the phone when he was driving. He said, here's what you're going to do. And within 2 days, we had this up, the I Got Checked website. And so really getting checked is about making sure that we don't have the interference, which is keeping you from living your life, that you don't have these diseases, but that we find the dis-ease in your body and we can correct that through chiropractic. But it's not a scary thing, like once I go, I'm always going to have to go to the chiropractor. And that really resonates with people who have never had chiropractic before because they don't want to go for the rest of their life. If we had to go to the dentist every morning to brush our teeth, we'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. And then what does getting checked really mean?
So it's seeing, do we have this in my office, I guess how I utilize it is, do we have the interference, the subluxation, which chiropractors are the only people who can correct that subluxation through a specific adjustment. And so it's not about what technique you use in getting checked, but is that interference there and how to remove it. So I always say, even in an exam, if I find the interference, it's their choice as to what they do with it. But we're the only ones as chiropractors who can find it. And so getting checked just means having the knowledge that interference is or is not there. Yeah.
And one of the things that I've been learning now, kind of going through the processes in school, then seminars and the weekends too, is kind of like the differences between the actual technique and the actual spinal analysis, because like a lot of times, especially chiropractic students are all about the crack, they're all crack addicts, wanting the actual adjustment, but then not spending the time and energy learning spinal analysis, and actually getting, checking people, whether it be with, like a Thompson, with leg checks, Deerfield checks, or, with neuroscopes with Gonstead. And then I know that you are practicing or like utilizing torque release technique as well?
I am, and I didn't start with that, and so you're dead on in telling students, to find an analysis protocol, because the analysis is the most important part, and that's how you're checking. You're checking for that. So if you're just pounding the lump or doing a flying 7, people will get better. I mean, they will, but that is more chasing down the symptoms than it is actually correcting the cause, if you want to go for that. And so my practice has totally transformed, and even things like torque release, you can use the checks with any system that you choose to use. I like that Jay Holder calls it an upgrade to any technique, that you at least have these be pre and post checks so that when the person leaves your office, whether, you're adjusting them or just checking them and you don't find interference, they're clear. You don't just want to guess with their health. They're paying you good money, and it increases the value of chiropractic.
Yeah. So So pretty much on every patient that comes in, you are checking them with with your techniques.
Correct.
Yeah. And then, and that's one of the things that I think is amazing too, is like, sometimes coming into an office and getting checked, whether you're using like the torque release spinal analysis or network spinal analysis or upper cervical Gonstead, that there is a possibility where different levels won't need to be adjusted. I remember going into a seminar, a chiropractic seminar with some classmates of mine, and a doc was using the torque release protocol and was like, "She's clear." And then and maybe like a hip adjustment or something like that, and then like everyone just like kind of looked at each other like, "Really? She's clear?" She's like, "Yeah, she's clear." So it was a thing where it was kind of a mind-blowing experience. It's like, okay, I guess she doesn't need to be adjusted. So I think that's kind of awesome. Yeah. And then, so what has I Got Checked done within your community and in your office?
I think it really decreases that barrier. I already had a lot of people, I don't know if it's my personality or just by chance, that had never had chiropractic. But then you also have the client who, big practice management gurus will tell you, don't be the 19th chiropractor that person has. And, but what if the first 18 weren't specific? What if they didn't check you for subluxation? They just adjusted this chase of symptoms, headache, upper cervical, great, let's adjust it, or something like that. So it's really decreased that barrier to allow them to get hope again and, connect issues. I mean, if we're connection specialists, we also have to be able to connect with our clients and listen to them. And so when you're checking somebody and you're listening to them, you're not going to have a problem, having a full practice or at least a practice of whatever you like. I don't think it's about seeing 100 or 600 and that makes you a better chiropractor. High volume is great, but it's what you want for your life, the same as what the client wants for their life. And I Got Checked really was not meant to create this like straight chiropractic group. I'm not saying that we should mix or not mix or do this technique or do that technique, but it was really to unite everybody together, and that the common thread is chiropractic. The common thread is checking to see if we have this thing that we think is devastating, we believe is devastating, a subluxation. And so if we're not checking for that subluxation, but yet we're saying it's devastating, there's a gap there. It's going to create frustration within your practice, with you, with your congruency, and within your clients. They don't know why they're coming. If you get rid of their headache, they're gone. And if they're coming to get checked, they're going to come for a lifetime.
Yeah. Have you had a prospective patient come in and like literally just say, "Hey, I want to get checked"?
Yeah, because I sit up. If you follow me on Facebook at all, I sit at the little cafe down the road, and I always talk to strangers. And I'm doing another project called Shift 180, which is a stranger project, meeting 180 strangers. But I met this couple down there on a Friday night, just sitting there, and she called like a month later and said, "Hey, I fell, didn't hurt myself, but I thought I should come get checked." And she's never had chiropractic before. But lo and behold, she had a lot of issues, but she didn't relate them to chiropractic. The chiropractic could help. And so then within 2 days, her daughter's in, and then her husband is in 2 days later. He has no sinus issues anymore. This gal's sleeping better, has more energy. And their daughter, I just posted a video last night on my Facebook page. She has Danny Walker cysts in her cerebellum, so it's a congenital issue. The fourth ventricle is full of fluid. So that would say, well, your brain is what it is, right? You're born that way. You can do OT, PT, things aren't going to help. But she's 28, and she didn't have any balance. And I just got an email right before this interview, and her mom said she was in tears watching the video because she falls less. She has better balance, and she goes, "I just wish I would have known sooner."
Wow,
and so I think I Got Checked is also the same principle. Don't wait until it's too late, or don't, wait to ask for help, because there's a lot of help, and we might even be able to connect them with another practitioner who can help them, even if it's not chiropractic. And in that respect, I think we've changed their life, saved their lives, even if they didn't get chiropractic, by just getting checked.
Yeah. So how could other chiropractic students across the world, actually, and other chiropractors kind of get involved?
I've actually kind of put the project on hold a little bit just because I'm trying to grow my practice a lot more. And I think we create a lot of islands in chiropractic. So my goal is just, you can call me, I can help mentor you on how to do I Got Checked right now. That's a lot of what I'm doing. I have another colleague in my town, actually, who I'm friends with, and her kids were wearing these shirts, and they say I Got Checked too. And she was dropping them off at school, and the parent said, well, hey, like, what's that all about? She goes, oh, well, I'm a chiropractor. And they've known, them for 5-6 years or whatever it was. And they came into the office within a few weeks. And so it's just a way wearing shirts around to gain awareness of chiropractic. The Ice Bucket Challenge, how can you gain more awareness for chiropractic? Just start talking about getting checked. Wear T-shirts. Exactly. I don't think it has to be... Originally, there was going to be a database, and there kind of is, but it's hard to get chiropractors off their islands. And I would say to students, I just watched, who's the Love Bomb gal?
Rhea.
Zimmerman, yeah.
Komaric.
And hers was great about not creating these islands, and having an open mind as a chiropractic student. And I think that as a chiropractic student, go to as many, technique seminars as you can and learn it all, so that if they're coming from a colleague on a different coast that had upper cervical, but you do torque release, you can still help them. You can still be specific, and you're not going to undo all of the healing process and the innate adaptation that other chiropractor has allowed their body to do, and send them backwards. And I think there's not enough of that connection in the chiropractic community. And I guess that would be my main goal, is that we just stop creating these islands, and that we really gain awareness of other chiropractors, and we show them respect, which allows us to show our community more respect. Because you can't say that you respect your community if you're bashing the chiropractor down the road. I just really don't think that that's possible.
Yeah. So Dr. Megan, thank you so much for sharing your light with us today. If you want some more information or want to connect with Dr. Megan directly, check out the links below. Every week I will be uploading a new interview with another leader in the chiropractic profession. If you like this video, please share it with your classmates, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. My name is Dave Tran, and this was LuxTV, shedding and spreading light for the chiropractic